Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Today, I want to invite you to move past your past. What do I mean by this? Another way I can capture moving past your past is processing, resolving the things that are unresolved in your past, and stepping into the future that God has in store for you. Usually, one of the hallmarks of trauma is someone who is stuck in the past. Being stuck in the past reminds me of a story told of this woman who lost her groom on the wedding day. She was dressed up in the gown, and it's a tale told by, I believe it's Charles Dickens in one of his books. He tells the account of this lady who was all dressed up, glammed up, ready for her wedding. But on that day, unfortunately, her spouse-to-be, her husband-to-be died. And that woman, for the rest of her life, lived her life in the wedding dress. That beautiful wedding dress ended up becoming all kinds of shades of white because she couldn't move past it. She got stuck in that incident. And that account is a good illustration of when somebody is stuck in their past. Usually that is a hallmark of trauma. It has been observed that people who have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, will struggle with re-emergencies, flashbacks from their past, of those painful traumatic incidences. And that is really, it's a telltale sign of how the past features re-emerges in the present, and it begins to negatively undermine and impact their future. Are you in that kind of space? As I talk about this, it could even be a triggering some of the painful things that you have gone through in the past, and you haven't been able to resolve them, you haven't been able to process them, you haven't been able to metabolize them. Now, the words of Isaiah chapter 43 are hopeful, and they are a clarion call to action. Forget the former things. Don't dwell in the land of yesteryears. Don't dwell in the past. Of course, this is something that may require, beyond this video, it may call for you to process the pain with perhaps a counselor. Somebody who is trained, a therapist, can help you metabolize that pain so that it gets out of your memory. It stops featuring and dominating your space, and you are liberated to be present. Therefore, as I'm talking about moving past your past, what's coming to mind? Is it a painful incident of abuse that you need to process? Is it some kind of generational trauma? When you look at your family history and cycles, you can see patterns of brokenness, patterns of deep brokenness that re-emerge generation after generation. This is a clarion call. Do not dwell in the past. Moving past your past will require some kind of processing. And as you do this in the presence of our Lord, there's something beautiful promised on the other side. It is that there are rivers in the wilderness. There's a way in that desert. That desert represents the pain, the painful things that you've gone through. And the land is dry and barren. And as far as you can see, all you see is that landscape of the desert, that desert terrain. But the Lord promises his people that on the other side of moving past their past, there are rivers in the desert. There's a way in the wilderness. There's an oasis of hope. And I pray that you'll experience that as you lay down your past and you step into the present and you open up to the possibilities that God has in store for you. Move past your past. God bless you.